The corridors of the research vessel Helios station had always felt cold to Commander Arlen Voss, but on the night the alarms blared through the metallic halls, a different kind of chill ran through him, one carved from instinct, not temperature. The emergency lights flickered red as he sprinted toward Containment Sector 7, uncertain whether he was rushing toward danger or destiny. Reports had mentioned a crash-landed pod found drifting between the moons of Veritas Prime. Everyone assumed it was empty. Everyone was wrong. When the containment doors slid open, Arlen froze. Standing at the center of the chamber was a woman unlike anything catalogued in the Alliance records. Her skin shimmered in a deep amethyst tone, almost metallic under the station lights. Her eyes glowed with a quiet intelligence, and her posture was controlled, as if she was constantly calculating every inch of her surroundings. Her clothes, mismatched and unfamiliar, looked like someone had attempted to disguise her as a human, but hadn't quite understood how. She looked powerful, dangerous, and heartbreakingly alone. Most officers stepped back. Arlen took one step forward. Before he spoke, she tilted her head, examining him with an intensity so sharp it cut through the air. "Designation?" she finally asked, her voice smooth but mechanical, as if she had learned speech from recordings rather than people. Arlen swallowed. "Commander Arlen Voss." "And you?" She hesitated, as if searching for something that wasn't there. "I do not know. A nameless alien. A living weapon. A mystery wrapped inside fear. The scientists believed she was engineered for war. Her physiology was too advanced, her strength unmatched. Yet when Arlen looked into her eyes, he saw something fragile behind the steel, confusion, and pain. Something told him she wasn't here to destroy. She was here because she was running. The first twist came only hours later. During a routine scan, the medical AI froze mid-analysis. Subject exhibits neural shielding. Someone has erased her memories, forcibly. Arlen felt a surge of anger. Not at her, but at whoever had done this. Later that night, the alien drifted through the observation deck, staring out at the stars with a longing she couldn't explain. Arlen approached cautiously. "You're not a threat," he said quietly. "You're scared. Whoever erased your memories was hiding the truth from you." She turned toward him slowly, her expression unreadable. "Why do you stand near me when others fear me?" "Because fear isn't always a warning," he said. "Sometimes it's a misunderstanding." She stepped closer, close enough that he could see faint patterns glowing under her skin, bioluminescent veining that flickered like constellations. "You look at me differently, Commander," she whispered. "As if you know me." He didn't know her. But he wanted to. 2 days later, the second twist struck. A rogue signal breached the station's firewall, an encrypted transmission from an unknown star system. The message repeated only one phrase. "Return the asset." Arlen's blood ran cold. They hadn't found her by accident. Someone was coming. Not for diplomacy. For retrieval. When the alien heard the signal, she clutched her head in agony, collapsing as flashes of broken memories resurfaced. Arlen caught her before she hit the floor. A single word escaped her lips through clenched teeth: "Run." As he held her trembling body, he understood, she wasn't the threat. She was the target. Whoever wanted her back had wiped her identity clean, but fragments showed she had rebelled. She wasn't supposed to have escaped. The station prepared for combat. Arlen had only one objective now: protect her. That night, she sought him out in the dimly lit engine bay, her voice softer than before. "Why do you defend me?" she asked. "I bring danger." "Everyone brings danger," Arlen answered. "But not everyone brings purpose." Her gaze softened. For the first time, she reached out and touched his hand, not with the strength of a weapon, but with the hesitation of someone rediscovering what it meant to feel. But the biggest twist came when the retrieval ship finally arrived. The vessel that emerged from hyperspace dwarfed the station, a hunter-class warship belonging to a species no one had ever encountered. They hailed the Helio station with a message that chilled every soul aboard. Return prototype N-47. Or be terminated. Prototype. Not a name. A designation. Arlen stormed into her quarters. She stood at the center, staring at her reflection, wrestling with pieces of a past she didn't choose. So that is what I am, she whispered. A tool. A weapon. No, Arlen said firmly. You're more than they made you. You cannot know that. But I want to. It was then she revealed one final memory fragment, a vision of herself standing among shattered ruins, her hands glowing with devastating power. If she returned to them, they would rebuild her. Reprogram her. Turn her back into the destroyer she once was. She looked at Arlen with fear, not fear of the enemy, but fear of herself. If I stay here, she said, they will kill your crew. If I leave, they will enslave me. What choice do I have? A third one, he said. Fight them. Not for us. For you. The battle erupted as the enemy launched boarding pods that smashed through the station hull. Alarms blared. The halls filled with smoke and chaos. As soldiers stormed the corridors, the alien, no longer passive, no longer uncertain, stepped into the heart of the fight. Her powers ignited. Energy surged through her veins in brilliant waves, tearing through metal and unleashing force blasts that shattered the invader's armor. But instead of losing control, she focused, fueled not by programming but by emotion, by the need to protect the one person who had seen her as more than a weapon. But just as victory seemed possible, the enemy commander appeared, a towering figure who spoke in the same mechanical cadence she once had. Prototype N-47, he said, return to your function. The human is irrelevant. She stepped in front of Arlen. No, she answered. He is the only thing that makes me feel real. In a final surge of power, she unleashed an energy wave that tore the commander apart and sent the enemy ship retreating into hyperspace. Exhausted, she collapsed into Arlen's arms. Later, as the smoke cleared and the station crews tended to the wounded, she stood by the observation window once more. But this time, she wasn't staring at the stars in confusion, she was imagining a future she never thought she could have. Arlen approached quietly. You still don't know your real name, he said. She looked at him with a faint, hopeful smile. Perhaps I can choose one. Humans do that, don't they? He nodded. You can choose anything you want. And if I choose to stay? Arlen paused, feeling the unspoken gravity between them. Then we'll face whatever comes next, together. For the first time, she didn't look lost. She looked alive. And as the camera would slowly fade from her luminous eyes to the star-filled horizon, the story ends with the final line you requested. He should have feared the alien stranger, but something about her pulled him closer.